Đừng vào ngày mai tôi đã ra đi, bởi vì chừng hôm nay tôi vẫn còn đang đợi. Hãy ngồi trôi tỏa hình trong từng phút từng giây, làm đọt lá trên cành xuân, làm con chim non cành mềm chim chiết vui mừng trong tuổi mới, làm con sâu xanh trên cuồng hoa hồng, làm chân như ngọc trải tượng hình trong lòng đá. Tôi còn tới để khóc, để cười, để nhức mong, để lo sợ. Sự xuất nhập của tôi là hơi thở, nhịp sinh diệt của tôi cũng là tim đập một lần của hàng triệu trái tim.
Don't say that I will depart tomorrow. Even today I am still arriving. Look deeply. Every second I am arriving, to be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with still fragile wings, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower, to be a jewel hiding itself in a stone. I still arrive in order to laugh and cry, to fear and to hope. The rhythm of my heart is the birth and death of all that is alive.
Dear Sangha, we are aware that Sister Lang is still there in each of us. I know that everyone of us has a beautiful and wonderful memory with her. So now it's time for us to share. So you can share your good memory, your poetry, or your music. And we sit here, we breathe for her, we smile for her, and we enjoy for her. And we see that she manifests in another forms, in the flower, because she likes to do the flower gardening. She manifests in every corner in Low Hamlet, because she's very caring for Low Hamlet, and also in the brothers and sisters. Sitting here, I feel very warm. I feel that she's very peaceful now. And I feel very clearly that she's still there. She was not passed away. Very alive in each of us. And by the way we live, that she can continue to live. Because when she passed away, also a part of us passed away. So we have to live in such a way that we can live for her, in order that she can continue with us in the future. And by your memories, can also help her to continue to be with us in the future. So please share the good and beautiful memory so we can nourish each other and we can together bring her to the future. Thank you.
Dear Thai, dear community, every time one of us departs, passes away, I feel that's a very precious chance for us to begin to contemplate that person. I feel that moment is a very precious moment because that person stops being, that one person sitting in that room doing this or that, saying this or that, but actually she becomes everything that she has ever done. And suddenly we have a chance to contemplate the whole of their life. And we know Sister Langim is not just a nun, it's not just a person that is no longer there, but we know now that she is also the young girl that she used to be, the young teenager, the young woman, and the woman that decided to become a nun a number of years ago. And there's so much history, so much beauty to that. And so this afternoon we have a chance to be together, and we take this opportunity to contemplate and to acknowledge and enjoy the beauty that has been there in her life and everything that she has done that has nourished us. And Sister Langim has been a very wholehearted member of our community, a very lovely person, and so I'm sure that a lot of us, we have memories and moments that we have spent and we have enjoyed with Sister Langim, and we're all invited to share this, to nourish the whole community, so that we can be more aware of how she's continuing into our own future, because she's there for us and she nourished this place, she nurtured the community we have also for all of us to enjoy. So please, you can just bow in and we'll pass the microphone for you to share. Thank you.
Dear respected Thai and dear community, dear Sister Langim, please allow me to share, and I will share speaking to Sister Langim, if you don't mind. And then you can feel included in my sharing as well. As I speak to her, I speak to you, and I speak to you, I speak to her. So, and please allow me, my sharing may be slightly long. I will try to make it short, but I will just share whatever is in my heart at this moment. As I'm sitting here, in front of me there is a jar of coffee, and there is cups and glass and a thermos. And one thing which was very dear to you, my dear sister, is your cup of coffee, very precious, and until the end of your life, you really enjoy drinking coffee. So I have beautiful memories of you turning your coffee with your teaspoon, spending quite a couple minutes turning your coffee in your cup, which was very beautiful. And I have memories of you sitting outside of your room, eating breakfast. Sometimes you came to eat breakfast with the community, but many times you enjoy eating breakfast, enjoying the beauty of nature. So it's very beautiful memories. And that I have, when you had to be hospitalized in Marmande, and I stayed with you for a few days at the hospital. And I have in the morning they brought us some coffee, hospital coffee, that you didn't really enjoy so much. So I went down to the machine downstairs to get some more stronger coffee that we enjoy drinking together. You sitting in your hospital bed, and myself next to you, and then in the breakfast they brought some fresh bread, so I made little piece with jam, and it was really a great joy that we shared together at the hospital when you were there in Marmande. So beautiful memories, and I know here often you share some coffee and taught your attendant how to make coffee. So it's very wonderful. So I just wanted to say, and I told you that, to say thank you to you for, and particularly for this last journey that we took together. Your three lovely attendants, Sister Lokwin, Sister Tintan, Sister Binyim, and your two blood sisters, Saskia and Sunyam, which are sitting in front of me now. and that was a journey that we took together with you to accompany you in this journey, bringing to the end of this particular body. And at the beginning was a bit difficult for you to accept that your body, which was in very good condition, your body allowed you to go for long walk and hiking. For walking, I think you had a hike with your sister-in-law for several weeks, and you love hiking in the countryside of around Lower Hamlet, and so it was difficult for you to accept that your body was sick, and then was your mind for a period of time was confused. It was difficult for you to bring things together, and so with a lot of patience, your attendant and myself and your sister, we try to comfort you, and this passed. That the clarity came back, but the suffering of the body was present. And then the last few days of your life, of this particular life, you accepted. It was an acceptance of whatever happened in your body, and you release and let go. And so we had very deep sharing, and I know hopefully some of my your attendant will share with you a little bit, maybe. But you had beautiful sharing with us, and I would like to share with the community. At one moment, I told you that the love will always be there, and you really acknowledge. And I say that we will never be separated. And then you did this gesture, bringing your index finger with your thumb, like that, and you kept it like that, and you showed to me. And I say, I see it, I see it. And you really nodded, and was that we will never be separated. And I say, thank you to you. And you say, yeah. It's so this was a very powerful moment. And the last day, the last 24 hours with you, we stayed with you. Your Saskia, Sunyam, your blood sisters, and your 3 attendants and myself, and many brothers and sisters came to visit you, to offer singing and chant. And then the last night we stayed in your room, and little by little your body just very gently, very softly, very peacefully, just slowly, just faded. And you choose, I said, Sister Loquin, who shared, saying that you never wanted to disturb the Sangha, that you would choose the right time not to disturb, and that's what you did. You choose to wait until 7:10, something like that. The end of our sister at 14 mindfulness precept recitation, and then you choose your breath was becoming slower and very slowly, and then I was observing you, and then you didn't take any breath anymore. And I said, oh, you're not breathing anymore. I came to check, and then it was no more pulse. So it like very peacefully. It was a very beautiful death, and you choose a full moon too. For us, that when it's a full moon, then we will see you in the full moon. It's a very powerful moment. And then another thing, but this is my interpretation of your goodbye, that you choose to the first of the month, and the first is a new beginning. So every day a new beginning. So it's a new journey for all of us. And so thank you. I know the last few days I saw myself running quite a bit often. My steps were not too slow anymore, but you helped me to practice and to really go deep within myself. So thank you. I love you, my dear sister, and we really feel that you are light and free. Thank you. Thank you.
Dear respected Thai, dear Sangha, dear Sister Lanyim, I don't know how long I'll share or whether I can share without my voice cracking, meaning with sadness, but I'll do my best. I'd like to continue the line of the coffee because I remember at 2 times Sister Lanyam and I were on the list to follow Thai and the Sangha on his tour, and we went to Killarney, Ireland, and also we went to England and London. I'm sorry I don't remember the dates, but it was around 2012. And Sister Lanyam and I and some other sisters were assigned to be in the same housing. And in Killarney, it was very beautiful. They were like studio flats or condominiums. Well, anyway, Sister Lanyam discovered the Irish coffee, but the kind that is plain, just you add hot water. And as well as the Irish tea, the Barclay, I think it was called Barclay, Irish coffee and Irish tea. So I was invited to enjoy some coffee and then tea with her. And it was really the beginning of my journey to appreciate coffee. So I thank Sister Lanyam immensely for her generosity to always share a cup of coffee with those of us who were staying in the same quarter for the retreat. And this continued also when we went to EIAB after the summer retreat in Plum Village. It seemed like the next day we would get on the bus and go to EIAB for their summer retreat. And then there was the trip into town to have a cappuccino. And this was in the little ice cream shop. Sister Lanyam and I and another sister would go there and have a cappuccino, a little one, not too big. And one time we saw 2 monks there, 2 brothers, 2 novice monks who were also there enjoying whatever it was, probably ice cream or anyway, they left and it was very nice to see them, and we said hello and they left. And then the 3 of us were ready to leave, and we asked the man there, how much do we owe for our cappuccino? And he said, you don't pay anything, the brothers paid for you. And we were so touched and very impressed that our young novice brothers knew how to take care of us. And those brothers are still here. I know who they are. And I smile inwardly when I see them. They were so polite. So that I'm now quite a coffee connoisseur. And science says it's good for the brain, so I can have my cup of coffee. And just one other thing, and then I hope others will share. Sister Lanyam, I loved the way you spoke, your suchness, it was wonderful. And when I would visit you as often as I could, since your diagnosis till recently, I knew I would come in your room and sit down and listen to you, because you shared so much about what was going on, and very honestly. I loved your honesty and your uniqueness. I mean, you were you, and that was so wonderful that you shared from your heart what you saw, and it was so refreshing. So I loved your way of communicating and your honesty, and I knew I didn't have to say much, but just sit there with you. But of course I tried to answer your questions as much as I could. So I carry in my heart your suchness, your wonderful energy, your joie de vivre, your joy of life and living. And I think that's all I want to share now. So thank you, dear Sister Lanyam. Yeah, my life has been enriched in many ways. Yeah.
Dạ, con kính bạch sư ông, kính thưa quý sư cô cùng toàn thể đại chúng. Con xin phép được tập chia sẻ bằng tiếng Việt. Con kính bạch sư ông, kính thưa sư cô Lan Nghiêm. Con tin là sư cô nghe những gì con chia sẻ. Giờ con thấy sư cô rất là được tự do. Sư có thể đi bất cứ nơi nào mà sư cô thích. Hoặc là làm bất cứ gì mà sư cô thích. Khi nghĩ tới sư cô thì trong đầu con đi lên rất là nhiều hình ảnh của sư cô. Từ những năm đầu mà con tới làng, sư cô lúc nào gặp con là sư cũng cười tươi, xong rồi nói lên tên con, chào xem Trăng Uyên Nguyên. Sư cô nói một cách rất là hết tấm lòng của mình á. Rồi sư cô ôm một cái. Con rất nhớ những cái lúc mà con được vô phòng sư cô và ngồi chơi với sư cô, nói chuyện với sư cô á. Có một ngày á, thì sư cô hơi đau và con nấu một bát cháo lên cho sư cô á. Thì lúc đó sư cô chắp tay lại và sư cô vừa ăn, mà cái cách sư cô ăn rất là hết lòng, cách sư cô thưởng thức ăn rất hết lòng. Và sư cô rất là cảm động, và lúc đó sư cô chia sẻ cho con rất là nhiều cái trong cuộc sống. Rồi những cái kỷ niệm gần đây, giống lúc mà sư cô biết tin mình bị đau á, thì lúc con cũng vô phòng sư cô. Con rất ấn tượng cái ngày mà sư cô chia sẻ với con là sư cô nói với con là xem có biết là mình rất là may mắn không? Mình còn sống trong tân thân. Sư cô thấy sư cô rất là may mắn khi mà sư cô được về lại với chúng á, và ở trong chúng để mà có các chị em ở xung quanh mình á. Và sư cô chia sẻ cho con rất là nhiều cái là cái sự trân quý của đời tu của mình như thế nào á. Thế lúc con rất là cảm động. Rồi con cũng nhớ một lần đó là lúc sư cô cũng đau và sư cô không có đứng dậy được nữa, thì con vào á, thì lúc đó có sư cô biện nghi nữa, sư cô mời con dùng trà. Sư cô nói sư cô biện nghi là pha cái loại trà mà sư cô thích á. Mời con một ly trà. Và sư cô cũng lấy một cái loại bánh mà sư cô thích nhất á, của Hà Lan á, ra và mời con dùng cái bánh đó. Con rất là cảm động. Rồi cái lúc mà con bắt đầu vào làm thủ quỹ đó, thì sư cô nghe tin là con chuẩn bị vào làm thủ quỹ. Sư cô tới và sư cô luôn hỏi con là xem có căng thẳng không, xem có cần sư cô giúp gì không, cái gì mà cần cứ tới nói sư cô sẽ chỉ hết tất cả mọi thứ. Xem đừng có căng thẳng để sư cô giúp, xem có biết cái này cái kia. Nói chung là sư cô chỉ bày rất là rõ ràng cho con á. Cái cách của sư cô nó rất là ân cần rất là từ bi và giống là rất là thương sư em á. Sư cô không có sự phân biệt bất cứ sư em là đến từ đâu hoặc bất cứ lúc nào á. Và cứ mỗi khi mà con gặp sư cô là sư cô luôn mỉm cười rất là tươi, và sư cô luôn hỏi thăm con có khỏe không. Cho dù đến khi mà sư cô đau á thì sư cô vẫn làm cái chuyện đó. Sư cô vẫn ân cần hỏi thăm con tình hình như thế nào, có ổn không, và con cảm thấy rất là trân quý sư cô. Thì có một lần sư cô cũng mời con là hẹn con một ngày nào đó đi tới uống cà phê với sư cô. Nhưng mà con thì không uống cà phê được. Thì những cái kỷ niệm đó con sẽ không bao giờ quên. Những cái lời nói, những cái chia sẻ của sư cô con cũng sẽ không bao giờ quên. Cái sự ấm áp á, con cũng rất là thích được ngồi nghe sư cô chia sẻ. Cái cách sư cô chia sẻ nó rất là ngọt ngào, nó rất là làm cho con cảm thấy rất là ấm áp á. Cái sự quan tâm của sư cô á. Nên là sư cô Lan Nghiêm, con cảm ơn sư cô rất rất là nhiều. Con biết là những gì sư cô đã chia sẻ cho con hay cho tất cả mọi quý sư cô khác á, nó sẽ ở đó, và chúng con sẽ mang sư cô đi về tương lai. Những cái cử chỉ đẹp của sư cô, những lời nói của sư cô, tất cả mọi thứ thì nó còn ở đó, và nó sẽ tiếp nối tiếp tục cho thế hệ tương lai á. Cho nên dù sư cô có mất đi thì nó cũng không phải là mất đi, mà vẫn còn ở đó. Con rất cảm ơn những cái gì mà sư cô để lại cho chúng con, thế hệ trẻ, và cho tất cả quý sư cô cũng như cho xóm Hạ. Con cũng nhớ là cái lúc mà sư cô từ bệnh viện về á, buổi chiều đó con cũng hay đi thiền hành trước thiền đường á. Thì con gặp sư cô Lan Nghiêm, con cũng thấy sư cô cũng đi thiền hành. Thì ngày đó con mới hỏi là buổi chiều con thì thấy sư cô đi. Sư cô nói là sư cô cũng cảm thấy là mình trân quý mỗi giây mỗi phút của mình á, và sư cô muốn thực tập đi thiền hành quanh xóm Hạ. Và lúc đó sư cô nói là thường sư cô hay đi giờ đó đó, và sư cô đi từng bước đi quanh hết những cái ngõ ngách của xóm Hạ. Thì tự nhiên lúc đó con cũng cảm thấy rất là trân quý. Và mỗi chiều mà khi con đi thực tập thiền hành là con cũng biết là sư cô cũng đang đi. Tại vì lúc đó con thấy sư cô cũng đang đi từng bước rất là thảnh thơi, nhẹ nhàng á. Thì con rất cảm ơn cái sự thực tập của sư cô và những gì sư cô đã để lại, những cái gì nó rất là đẹp á. Con cảm ơn sư cô đã có mặt, và con biết sư cô giờ rất là hạnh phúc rồi. Bây giờ sư cô là một người rất là tự do rồi, nên không có gì vướng bận bất cứ một cái gì nữa. Con kính cảm ơn sư cô rất nhiều, và con kính cảm ơn quý thầy quý sư cô đã lắng nghe con. Con xin hết.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, I'd like to ask permission to read some words sent to us by Sister B. Nyim. So as some of you know, Sister B. Nyim from the EIAB, who is a Lower Hamlet native. Dear Sister Lan Nyim, after many years at L'Arche, a community in the footsteps of Gandhi, where you lived a very, very simple life, you came to Plum Village right away with the intention to become a nun. Simple life, community life, spiritual life was essential for you. And from your first visit, you came and asked me for guidance and support. You shared so many things about yourself with me, about your early tragic relationship and how this loss had transformed you and taught you to see what was essential for your life. Simple living, manual work, true friendship, and a spiritual dimension in your life. Through all your sharings, we became friends. We took walks together whenever possible. We shared a room together for a few years. Sometimes we were upset at each other, feeling hurt, and withdrew, but we always did, beginning anew. Through this, we also strengthened our friendship and sisterhood. You came with me when I visited several sanghas in Germany, and together we went to Blue Cliff in the US. Somehow, Blue Cliff was very difficult for you, especially the long winter with enormous amounts of snow. After this experience, you never left Lower Hamlet. You loved all your sisters and had a very warm-hearted connection with the Vietnamese sisters, giving them your heartfelt embrace. You were very important to the lay friends with whom you would always help, especially the Dutch Sangha. You were a wonderful gardener, did magnificently as accountant, maintenance person, and others. Right after our return to Lower Hamlet, I left for Germany, where we started the EIAB, but we kept our special relationship through all these years. When you left the Sangha a few years ago, you often connected with me. I remember a conversation with you in your little house in Puy Guilhem, where you lived in solo retreat for many months. You had really... You had really looked at your own mind and saw how you were no longer following many of your life's most important values. It was in the silence of those months that you discovered the importance of community life again. One of the guiding stars of your life. To become a nun, you had given up part of the inheritance from your parents. And even when you left the Sangha for that time, you never regretted this. You never betrayed your values. When at first the Sangha did not accept your immediate return, you left to participate in the establishment of a Sangha in Brazil. Again living under simple circumstances, manual work and community life. Finally, conditions were sufficient for you to come back to the Sangha, to Lower Hamlet. You left one more time and came back again this summer to your Sangha, your beloved home. I am very grateful that you could come back in time so you can receive the loving care and protection of the Sangha. Twice I was able to speak to you in the last few weeks, and I was touched by your enormous suffering. The illness went so fast. But I was also so touched to learn that in those last days of your life, you thought of me. You will always stay in my heart. Thank you for having been my sister and friend on the path. Thank you for your sense of fairness, honesty, and humanity. Sister Binyim.
Dear respected Thai, dear sisters and brothers, dear Sister Lanim, I was very fortunate to travel with you in the first time I traveled with the Sangha. It was a very long trip to South America, Colombia, Ecuador, and the Galapagos Island. And it was a trip full of adventures and full of good experiences. I really enjoyed translating Sister Langiem sharings and Dhamma talks. I was very impressed of how organized is her in her mind, how structured were her Dhamma talks. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, she always tries to have everything in order so we can work in harmony and better. And of course, we enjoy a lot of Colombian coffee. Sister Langiem was so happy of having a Colombian coffee. And I will never forget when we were in the Galapagos Island, the people who invited us, they wanted to bring us, to take some of us to swim with the turtles. And I didn't know Sister Langiem can swim so well, that well. I was still wearing my life vest, and I was trying to go out of the boat very carefully. And then I look at Sister Langiem and I ask, Sister Langiem, you will not wear your life vest? And she looked at me and she said, I don't need a life vest. And she jumped to the water. I was so impressed, so brave. And yes, after that trip, I was so nourished by the practice of Sister Langiem that I wrote a letter for her, expressing my admiration and my gratitude. And I asked her to shine light on my practice, because having the chance to spend such a long time with a sister with who I admire a lot is such a rare opportunity in the Sangha. So I asked Sister Langiem, please share a line of my practice. And then the first thing that she told me after, when she saw me, she said, yeah, well, thank you very much for your letter. Yeah, you have to be careful when you write a letter to a sister, huh? Yeah, your letter, I appreciate. I think it's okay in this time. Don't worry. You are very respectful, and and I think that was the most important advice of Sister Langiem on that occasion. And yeah, I don't know who were her sisters at that time, but she said that as soon as she received the letter, she read it in front of her sisters so they can see all the things I said, and she was very happy because actually I pressed her a lot, and she was happy to share, that the sisters can see that, yeah, I was very nourished and I admire her a lot. So, yeah, it has been a wonderful journey, and I feel very happy I had the chance to walk together with Sister Langiem during these years, these moments of my life, and I will always keep her in my heart. And
dear Thai, dear Sangha, I asked permission to share a little bit. I also went with Brother Dukji and Sister Langiem to South America 3 years ago, and it was a wonderful trip together. I was with her for 1 month and a half, and we were always in the same room, and she is very easygoing. I can make any noise like snoring and wake up early, late, or I can do anything. She just sleep, so she sleeps very easily, and me too. I sleep very easily, so we were very harmonious together in the room. And every day she really enjoyed coffee, like Sister Eleni and Sister Dawngim shared. Yeah, and the way she drink coffee is very beautiful with the hand like this, stir the coffee, so it's very beautiful always. And she swim very well, like Brother Dukji shared. We were in the boat, and they brought us in the middle of the ocean. And they said, now you jump. And we just jump into the water, and she swam with with the turtles, the sea turtles, and we saw the little sharks. It was very beautiful. Yeah. But the baby one, yeah, she really enjoys swimming, and she will swim very well. So we really admired her, and she was very healthy, very strong. She worked for hours without tired, and I walked behind her. And, oh, we should stop. I'm so tired, and she just kept going. You know. And at the end of the trip, we tried to bring back some gifts for the sisters. And I remember one time I ate sea fruits. It's Vietnamese fruits, and we can find it in South America. It's soft, it's green, it looks like a star. And if it's ripe, it's yellow. And she really loves Sister Trang Lộc Uyển. Whenever I talked about Sister Lộc Uyển, I said, "Oh yeah, it's very lovely sister. I love her. She's great." So she wanted to offer this fruit to Sister Lộc Uyển, and I told her, "How can you bring this? It's very soft. We have to change a lot of airplanes, take 3 or 4 airplanes before coming back to France." And I remember I saw her put the fruit, one fruit only, because we had a lot of things, in her suitcase, and no, it will damage the fruit. So she took it out and put it in and out. And finally, she put it in her shoes to protect the fruit. I don't know if Sister Lộc Uyển ate this, and it was smelly or not, I don't know. But I saw her bring in this fruit with a lot of love and care. And so it's very wonderful to be able to travel with her. And after that, she asked me to go again with her in Spain, another trip, but it was cancelled because of COVID-19. So we were very harmonious together with Brother Đức Trí, Brother Phap Tiên, Brother Đại Dũng, and myself. 5 of us. I made many videos and photos on the airplane. I didn't know what to do on the way back, so I just made videos. And I looked at those videos this morning. I saw her very healthy, very joyful, always with a big smile on her face. So I think Sister Lang Nghiêm will bring those good memories with her whenever she goes. Oh, I forgot to put some photo in, maybe in the coffin, but I didn't bring it out. But we will keep this in your heart and in my heart. Thank you for being there with us, and be a wonderful sister. Thank you.
Can we invite Sister Lang Nghiêm sisters to share with us some beautiful memory that you spend with each other?
Where to start? With a big sister like that. My sister, Emily. For me, she has become Sister Lang Nghiêm, and I know now how to spell her name correctly, and the address, etc. And but she is a big Shuni, but she is in another way my big sister. Still is my big sister. I'm the youngest sister, and I mean, here we share a lot of things of her years here, and in those years I have seen her 5 to 7 times, I think, on special occasions, like for instance when our parents died, but also on occasions she came to Holland and she had a meeting in the House of Aandacht in Tricht. It's near Utrecht, a small village, and there she held talks, or she had to teachings, or I don't know the real name. And then she came over to our place with my children and my husband, And then she stayed 1 week, and we just did things like in the old days. We made ordinary stuff to eat. She loved cauliflower and with potatoes, and of course we skipped the meat because the meat is from before becoming a sister here, or even before that time. But we found other things to make her and have a good meal. And of course the coffee in the mornings, that was not one coffee but at least 3 coffees, and then we ended at around 1 o'clock, and then she went to do her shopping. Sometimes I went with her, but she always needed special things like brown socks, which were hard to get here and which were not very fashionable anymore in Holland. So she had to go to, kind of big warehouses, and then she came back, because I didn't always go with her, I just now and then, but she liked to go in Amsterdam to go and see how things changed, because she has lived there for a very long time, of course. And then she came back, she said, oh, well, those warehouses, they are not like they were. One is called the Hema, which is a very Dutch warehouse, and she was complaining like, no, those under trousers, or how do you call them, they're not the same, and the socks, they don't even have proper collars, and well, it's all, you know how she says things like that. She was always like that, and she was very like, it had to be like this and specific, and so. Anyways, I could see that she had also a hard time here. Maybe it's wrong to call it a hard time, but sometimes she shared things like the work was very hard. It was very. Well, she had to work hard, let's say, put it that way. And there were always things that had to be done and had to be thought of and had to be taken care of. And everybody has to think and to decide and to talk about it. And sometimes it took ages before something happened, or maybe something very small in her way of, but it couldn't. And then I said, why don't you do it? No, it's not the way how things go. And so sometimes she really found it not easy to live the way life is here. And I was fascinated by the fact that she could share a room with at least 3 other sisters, and that your only place is sort of your bed and underneath, and then you had to change during the year, or once a year you had to change and find others to share your room with, and then you had to find out who wanted to share with the window open. And I thought, my God. And then I said to her, I said, what about those cats? They all come in. And she said, yeah, that's a problem too. because you have sisters who like cats, who don't mind that they are sleeping on her bed. And she says, and I don't hate cats, but it's okay. But I don't want them to sleep on my bed. So now she found sisters like Sister Lok Yun, who sleeps with the window open. And I don't know the other names, but there must be others here who like to sleep with windows open. And that became a sort of, criterion to share your room with. Others who didn't want it, they just fell off. She didn't want to sleep with. Anyways. Well, there are more things like that, but I really found it quite a big choice, and I really feel a big respect for her choice of sharing her life in this way and to be committed. And she talked about her travel to Brazil, and she was very Brazil, yeah. She was very touched by what she saw there, about chances that the people have, and especially the children she met, and she had kind of plans that she would want to. I don't know exactly what she wanted there, but she couldn't really leave it behind her. She was very going like, wow, well, we have to do something there, and I don't know exactly, but I found her very, how do you say that? Huh? Engaged, yeah. Anyway, she is my big sister. I remember, it's the last one, I remember when she was, let's say, 16, back then you could drive your motorbike, and she was 16 and she had worked and gained some money, and she bought a Berini. It's a green motorbike, and I'm let's say 3-4 years younger, so I was looking up at her, and then she said, "Come, we go to the village, and we go and drive through the village on the motorbike." And she was there sitting in front with the blonde hair, you know, and the wind was going like through her hair. You can imagine how it looks like. And her little sister, could sit on the back, and I put my feet on her things like that, because we didn't have those little ones on the back. So I was there, and she had her legs like this. And then we go through the heart of our village, and not so fast, a little bit slow, and everybody could see us with those hair going through the main road and on this little bike. And you know, it's such a precious moment, because I was 13 and she was sort of 16, and we were doing this together, and we were going there and showing off with her little motorbike. And well, I have a lot more memories, but maybe you want to say something? No? No. Okay. Thank you all very, very, very much for taking care and having spent so many hours with my sister, and especially now for taking such good care of her, and these beautiful ceremonies of sharing our experiences and our friendship with her. Thank you so much.
Dear respected Thầy, dear beloved Sư Cô Lan Nghiêm, and dear Sangha, please allow me to share about my experiences with Sister Lan Nghiêm, as being attendant for Sister Lan Nghiêm for just 2 months. So, yeah. And I came to Plum Village 6 years ago, and I spent the whole 6 years with Sister Lan Nghiêm. And Sister Lan Nghiêm was one time or 2 times my precept teacher. And actually, I felt quite a pity that I did not really learn to understand Sister Lan Nghiêm during the 6 years that I spent here in Low Hamlet, because I was very young, and I know that Sister Lan Nghiêm has a habit that I always try to avoid, because I try to avoid to ask Sister Lan Nghiêm any question, because I know if I ask her one question, I will need at least half hour to listen to Sister Lan Nghiêm, and sometimes it takes hours. And just listen to Sister Lan Nghiêm. So after that first experience with Sister Lan Nghiêm, I try to avoid Sister Lan Nghiêm. So any question I need to ask Sister Lan Nghiêm, I have to ask another sister first. If I could not avoid Sister Lan Nghiêm, then I will go to Sister Lan Nghiêm. But I know that Sister Lan Nghiêm is a very joyful person, because whenever I left the Low Hamlet for home visit and come back, she always comes smiling, big smile on her face, and then she come to me and embrace me in her breast. like a mom embrace her child. I could not say like a grandmom because Sister Lang Yam does not really like to call her as grandmom. I remember that Sister Viet Nghiêm was Sister Lan Yam's attendant, and Sister Viet Nghiêm shared with Sister Lan Yam, I feel you as my grandmom. And Sister Lan Yam was very upset. I don't like you call me grandma. So whenever we ask Sister Lan Yam how her age, we always ask, how young are you, Sister Lan Yam? Yeah, I'm 69 years young. She's quite a very funny person. So when being attendant for Sister Lan Yam at her very difficult moment in her life, it was still very joyful for me to be with Sister Lan Yam. It was it was quite difficult for Sister Lan Yam in the last 2 months. So I was very, I feel that I was very lucky that I had the chance to attend Sister Lan Yam. Being someone's attendant is like living someone else's life, very close, and you see that person totally. But there's still a secret part that I don't touch or could not touch. So it was very powerful and helpful time for me as attendant for Sister Lan Yam. And when Sister Lan Yam lay on the bed in the last day, I was saying in myself to Sister Lan Yam that, Sister Lan Yam, I'm very grateful to you that you appear in this condition right in front of my eyes. As a very young person, you teach me to learn about a joyful life and about death, how to accept death. So I was sitting right on her side, and I asked myself, dear Sister Lan Yam, what could I help you for you to continue the practice that you can accept the life that you have gone through with ups and downs, and now you have to face something, maybe the most difficult moment of life. So, thanks to that question, I think of, okay, I will remember the moment that you were born, and then thanks to the stories and thanks to the picture albums that Sister Lan Yam's blood brother sent, I can kind of imagine how Sister Lan Yam's life was. It was I think it was very happy, a lucky person. I always tell Sister Lan Yam, you are a very lucky person. You have a very good life. Your family was wealthy, and you really enjoy life as you like. You really live your life that you like, and you did not follow others' life. So, and I was also contemplating about my life, and I could smile. I could smile to Sister Lan Yam's life. Even there's happiness, but there's also suffering period in Sister Lan Yam's life. but okay, Sister Lanyam, I can smile to everything, happiness and suffering for you, and I accept this life that you have gone through. And when I was attendant of Sister Lanyam, I read sutras for Sister Lanyam in Dutch, and her manner when she said to listen to the sutra, it was always in a very in a proper position, and her hand, a very precise position, and listen, close her eyes and listen very deeply. It looked like that, but I don't know. It looks like that. And whenever I end a paragraph of the text, she said, like she really listened deeply to the sutras. And I was happy that I could read the text of Avatamsaka Sutra for Sister Lanyam, Kinh Hoa Nghiêm, because I really want to offer Sister Lanyam about the interbeing word. It's what I really hope Sister Lanyam can enjoy the word in her store consciousness. And the last 3 days, when Sister Lanyam could not open her eyes, I remember me of a movie. I think it's The Reader. I remember that there's a guy who was under dive in a closed room, and there was a girl who go out every day in the outside, and when she came back to visit him, I remember she said, "I will become your eyes." She shared what she saw on that day to him. How is the sky? How is the trees or the flowers? So I told Sister Lanyam, I will give you my eyes. I will tell you what I see right now in the sky, the blue sky, the clouds and the colors of the leaves. So I described to her how things are outside. She nodded her head. Okay. And I feel the wind on my skin. Do you feel the wind on your skin? So I try to blow on her skin. Do you feel the wind? And she said, yeah. Yeah. So I'm grateful to Sister Lanyam and to the Sangha gave me this such precious opportunity to live with Sister Lanyam, and thank you, Sister Lanyam, for manifesting in the way that she has been. And my most impressive experience with Sister Lanyam is that Sister Lanyam slept on her bed, and I put my bed next to her, and I can embrace her the whole night, and we sleep together with her hand in my hand. I try to hold her hand in my hand, but then she withdraw her hand and then put her hand on my hand to hold my hand in her hand, like a mom holding a child's hand. So I sing for Sister Lanyam my dear friend's song, and now I am thinking of, should I keep you in my heart, or should I leave you free? Yeah, Sister Lang Yum is a free person, so I hope Sister Lang Yum, I don't know what to say. Sister Lang Yum is not Sister Lang Yum. Thank you very much.
Dear Thai, dear brothers and sisters, dear Sister Lan Yum, please allow me to read a letter from Hagit, Sister Thai Yum. Dear Sister Lan Yum, my heart is with you today. Has been lately since I got word of your illness. It is heartwarming to connect with you, knowing that you spent your last moments in this form, in the countryside which you loved so much, close to nature and the earth, and surrounded by love and support which you so much deserve. Your presence for me was always encouraging and supportive, even at times when our communication was less verbal. Like in a real family, it didn't matter. Your honesty and practicality made it easy to trust you. Your quiet, careful, tidy work made you feel like a safe place. Your discreetness made it easy to talk to you. And as my sister who ordained just a few minutes before me, as part of our ordination family, the Ashokas, it really felt like you were that big sister, even before we ordained. I knew you will always accept me and have room for me and who I am, and that you wish the best for me without asking for much in return. You were able to overcome difficulties with dignity, which is an inspiration for me. I remember when we shared a tiny aspirant's room up in the old Persimmon building, in the old attic. You kindly tolerated my messiness and gently pointed out that it is possible to do things differently. You were the perfect roommate, there when needed, giving space when needed, and just letting me be. You were genuinely happy for me when the sisters accepted my request to ordain, and I still remember fondly how you rubbed my head with joy, warmth and generosity to congratulate me, like a real sister, with not many words. It was important for you to be respected for who and what you are, and you showed it by doing the same for others, and showing care just at the right amount and time, so as to respect those you cared for. I learned from you how to be happy with simple and small things, like being able to stretch your long legs on the bed, or really enjoying a warm cup of coffee and taking your time. As I do regret not being able to see you the last time I visited Lower Hamlet, I know that when I am able to visit again, you will surely be there in the buildings which you took a big part in taking care of so well and renovating, in the trees, in the earth, and in the air. I am truly happy and grateful that our paths crossed in this Buddha land, which was a home for both of us and many others, Plum Village. May you continue peacefully, dear sister. You're there for me, and I am here for you. With love and a deep bow, your sister, Hagit, Thai Nyem.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, dear Sister Lan Yum, I will keep it very short because the time is
late. I am very grateful for Sister Lanyam, especially the time when I was a novice and I was just ordained. And actually, I wasn't planning to ordain at that moment because I still had an apartment. And so the Sangha said, okay, no, you just ordain and then you go back home to take care of the apartment in only 2 weeks. And this was a very stressful time for me to go home in my new form and only have 2 weeks to do all the formalities and something. And so I asked the Sangha of Lower Hamlet for support because I lived in New Hamlet. And they were so generous to let Sister Lanyam go with me because she was Dutch and it would be easier for her to be in my family. And it was really nice. She loved to talk, and that was so lucky for me at that moment. I remember that in the morning we had breakfast, and then she and my mother would continue to talk, and I would do all my things, and then my mother would say, oh, it's time for coffee now, and then they would have coffee. And then after talking, and then they say, oh, it is lunchtime already, and then they would have lunch. And I would have a lot of time to do my things, but at the same time, she really connected with my family, and she told my family a lot of stories about Plum Village, because Plum Village was still very new for them. They had been once, which was very impressive for them, but they didn't have full confidence yet. And then, because Sister Lanyam told in a very Dutch and normal and honest way about Plum Village, and also about all the things that were not good in Plum Village, and that give my parents confidence, because if something is not good, it means it's true. If everything is good, it means it's not so true. Maybe. So they got a real image of Plum Village, and I'm very grateful for that, because they have always remembered that. Especially she was treasurer at that moment, and my father is also in the money accountant business, so he found it very interesting that she could give him some information or something like that. So it gives them trust, and also that my family, apart from my parents, they don't really appreciate and not happy with my path. They don't understand, but all of them, they love Sister Lanyam. They feel that she is a nice and a good person. So I have an aunt in Bussum who still she doesn't want to come here, or she doesn't, but she likes Sister Lanyam. So I'm very grateful for that. And later, when my mother had Alzheimer's disease, and I came with her to EIAB, and Sister Lanyam was also there. She connected again with my mother and went for a walk or went shopping, and for her it was no problem at all. She found she was still good and nice to be with, and she always kept interested. And even when she was sick, she asked about my mother when she saw me and how is she. And yeah, so I'm very grateful for her for coming with me and supporting me in also in relation with my family. Yeah, thank you. That's what I want to share.
Dear brothers and sisters, please allow me to share. I know it's I thought I wouldn't share, but sitting here I feel that I should share something. So, Brother Dukti's story that helped me to remember what Sister Lanyam told me. It was, I think, a month and a half, right? Last month, and when some brothers came to me and asked to visit Sister Lanyam, and I said, okay, let me ask her. And I told this sister, there's this brother wanna come and visit you, and then I mentioned some name. I said, why do they want to come? And I said, I don't know. And then, no, I said that, because they care for you, they love you, they respect you as an elder sister. And then she starts to say, I have to be careful with Brother Dukti. And I didn't know why she said that. I said, but can you tell me more? I don't understand. And she said, you know, this is, and she shared about the letter. And she said, it's the first brother that, it's the first letter that I received from brother. And you know what I did? I bring it to the Bhikshuni precept, and I read it for the sister. And then they was very astonished. I said, wow, Sister Lanyam received a letter from her brother. And but what stayed in my heart is that she said, you know, we have to be careful. Everything starts from this, I think, from the small letter, and it's, you know, something out, you know, will come. So we have to be very careful. And then I said, oh wow, me too. Like, I am young nun, but I'm like, I think it's normal, but she's like 30 years older than me, or 40, but she still, you know, see this as something that we need to be careful. We shouldn't underestimate. And then I said, yes, I will do the same. Thank you, sister. And then she said, and then I said, you know, it's not about this, because this brother, they respect you. They don't have anything like, you know, it's very pure. And I said, that is okay. And then they come and visit Sister Lanyam. But you know, this kind of attitude and carry, how you say that, but like we shouldn't underestimate the small thing that will lead to the big thing, and especially things related to the emotional attachments, stuff like that. Anyway, and the second thing I want to share is that. During the time when she was still able to share a lot, and then I listened a lot, and at some point I was like, very scareful, because whenever I close my eyes, I close my ear, I see Sister Lanyam and I hear her voice. I was like panicked, because oh my gosh, I see Sister Lanyam is here and I don't know what to do, and I felt that I really lost myself. And I shared that with some sisters, but then slowly I found a way to practice and then to accept that yes, there's an interconnectedness between me and her is okay. And later on, when she could not share much, and when she felt into confusion and she could not remember everything, and thanks to those stories that I could tell her, oh, this is how you were, and then like it seemed like I am the one who witnessed her life, and now I share with her, and she believed that, and I'm very grateful that at that time she shared everything with me, and then I was able to listen, and that's why later on I don't feel regret. And one of the things that she shared, and I try to understand too, that why she left, she asked for 6 months sabbatical. Yeah, that at the beginning she didn't want to share with me, but then but a little bit of conversation, and then she started to share, and then she said to me that I hope that when I get better, I can, I don't know if I want to do this. And I said, what do you want to do? And she said, I don't think that Plum Village will allow me to do this. And then I said, just to share, who knows? And then she shared that she saw that many old people and poor people around here, they are very poor and old and alone and sickness, like a lady who above, you see that the sister may know the 2 cherry tree that we like, the 1 cherry tree that we like to go and pick, and that lady also died because of a cancer and because of a loneliness. And she shared with me many times about this, and she said she really want to help the old people and then the poor people around here. And if she get better, she want to spend her time to do this. And I thought it's very nice. I said, you know, it's okay. It's very nice. I think that we will support you, and I will put my name on the list to help you with this. And but then when the condition was a little bit different, her physical body is not allow her to do this. And I think a few days ago I mentioned again that I will share with the Sangha your wish, and if the condition is sufficient, I would help you also. That we will come and visit old people around here, and poor people too. And then we will try to bring to realize our wish. But I think it's quite easy to understand, and I think that we can do that. Yeah. And I will share with the Sangha, and whoever want to help, you can, help. And I don't know how to yet, and I share with her, I don't have, I cannot speak French. I only have heart to help. But I will share with number of brothers and sisters, and then we try to do something for you. And whenever we do this, we visit the old people and poor people around here. We do it for you. And I think when I share that, she nodded her head. And that's one of the things that she said share when she really wanted to do. And one of the reasons that she left for 6 months, because she wanted to see whether she can do it or not. She can do it alone or not, like helping the old people. And then after a few months, she realized that she could not do it alone, and she wanted to come back and then hopefully to share it with the Sangha so that we can all do it together. So now I want to share this for the community. So one of the big reasons that she left for 6 months because of that. And that she was with the old lady who also has Alzheimer. Yeah, and then she was helping her. And one of the sayings from her that I will never forget was that when the brothers got to know that she was quite sick, and then there was a number of older brothers and came and visit her. I think it was Thaymin He, and they I can't remember the name anymore. They came and visit her, and then she shared, and then this sentence, I think I shared with many sisters already. He said, this is how she did. I think I'm smart, but now it doesn't work. Yeah, it is something really stay in my heart, and it's true that at that moment, it's really I feel that she really spoke with me, and I really I spent 4 or 5 times during my sitting meditation to contemplate this sentence, and to understand why this is stay in my heart so much. And I see it true from being with her, from when she was still able to share a lot, still able to control and manage everything in her body and her mind, until the moment that she could not handle and embrace anymore, and she fell into confusion, and until the moment that she passed away. And I really see that it's true. What would help, at least for me, us when we are, or for me, or many of us do it when we are sick and nearly die, the talent doesn't help. Intelligence at that time, it could not work anymore. What else? Like being able to sing well, good in computer, know many languages, it doesn't help. But what would help is sisterhood and our own, the wholesome seed that we have been watering in our life, and that would manifest at that moment. And because at that time we are not able to control anything. And that's really a wake-up bell for me, not to waste my time, and kind of reminder for me not to get caught in the work that I'm doing or whatever it is, and focus into the practice, because who knows, that can come anytime. And also spend time to cultivate sisterhood, because I know when I sick, this is those people who will take care of me, who will love me. And if I don't know how to communicate with them, I don't have a good relationship with them, how can they understand and help me when I am not able to speak? And I really see that it's very important for me. And when I see that, and then I share that with her too, and then she's smiling, and I said that I will share that with the Sangha. I share with number of sisters already, but I feel that I can't keep this for myself. And I think this is one of the biggest lessons that I learned during the time that I'm with her. Even that you look me like pale, a little pimple, like thing, my skin is like almost like her skin. I'm tired too. But what I've learned from her is it's more than that. And I said to some sister, I'm ready to, I'm willing to pay everything to be able to learn and witness this lesson. And I'm very grateful that she and the Sangha allow me to be with her and to learn this. Yeah. And I think about the last 4 days of her life, not 10 days, I guess. She really transformed the fear and confusion into deep peace. And I spoke a little bit about like no birth and no death, and I asked, and then she said, "Oh, she's content." She at that time said, "I'm content." I said to her that I'm a bit young, but I'm contemplating about it too. And she said, "Me too." And at that point, she started to already. I think before too, she really used the mud, the pain of the body, and then a lot of pain in the body to transform it into a lotus. I don't know how you call this name. I will see the Chanduk may know. I don't know, but what I feel around her is a deep peace. I like to do sitting meditation in her room when I am. We have the night. I have the night with her. In my turn to be in the room with her at night. And before that, when I do sitting meditation, I could feel there's a fear and confusion around her. But since last, I think week until the day that she passed away, there was a deep peace and calm and light around her. And I thought that maybe I imagined it, or maybe I'm wrong. And I spoke with Sister Dang, and she said she felt the same. And I felt, wow, that's, she really made good use of the pain, of the fear, and transform it into non-fear and touch something very, very deep. I don't know how deep it was, but I can only feel the peace and light around her. And I said, "You are very cool, nun. I want to be able to do the same like you." Yeah. And I like to finish with a song that we often sing for her. You are an orchid, and you are in my heart. You are a part of me. You are an orchid. You are a cool nun, and you are in our heart. You are a part of us. You are a cool nun. Thank you, Sister Lan. Thank you, Sangha.
Dear Sangha, we have the short video clip that Loham, the sister, made about Sister Lang Yim. So now I would like to invite the Sangha to look at it. I don't know if you're ready. Very short.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace, and I rest and trust Peace is the way. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. I breathe for you. You breathe for me. We breathe for all the world in peace. I breathe for you. You breathe for me. We breathe.
So delicious.
Ruga che cosa mangerà? Chi lo sa, chi lo sa. 2 foglie di lattuga poi si riposerà. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Tartaru.
One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. Even though it seems we are so far apart, and many times we're feeling all alone.
Dear Thai, dear community, dear brothers and sisters, we thank you so much for having been together this afternoon to commemorate our sister, and we feel she's, I feel at the beginning of this session we were saying Sister Langem is still alive here with us, but now I think we can all really feel it. We can see how much she's given to our Sangha and how much of her is still present in each and every one of us. And I feel there's a lot of beauty in this moment in the way the Sangha connected to our sister and the way we remember her. And I also want to thank Sister Langyam sisters, which I never met before, unfortunately. But it's very beautiful to also to have you here as a connection to what our sister was before becoming a nun, to see her really as a complete human being, you know, in all the phases that she had to go through. And I see that that's also very beautiful. So thank you for having come here, and thank you for being here with us also to engage in this session, share your memories and your beautiful stories of riding motorbikes and things like that with Sister Lang. The community, this is the time to end this session for this evening. And so we would like to invite three sounds of the bell and breathe together for a couple of minutes just to feel her presence in the warmth that we feel in our heart. And then we will have a little time also that we can come up after the end of this session to say goodbye to Sister Lang, maybe for the last time, for some of us, and just bow and spend a few moments with her body. And then we'll just informally end the session of this evening. So thank you so much for having been here.
Thì nó sẽ tại vì mà hay dọn, tại vì mình đọc cùng mỗi chuyện chắc phải dọn mọi người. Chị mọi người, tại vì mình sẽ hai bên thôi đó. Ở giữa đâu đến có bao nhiêu đây, nhưng mà sáng không thể nào sáng bởi vì nó sáng còn tí nữa họ đi á, thì dọn. Bây giờ họ con nữa, mình sẽ xong mình dọn. Tại vì giờ họ con sẽ dọn ở ngoài, bận đi con
chị không có quyết định được đội chị thôi. Bây giờ rồi chờ đội chị vô ấy, chị có quyết định được.
you.